Here's something that will change how you think about money forever. There's this invisible line at $100,000 in net worth where everything shifts. Before you hit it, every dollar feels like a struggle. You're grinding, saving what you can, watching your account grow painfully slow. But something magical happens once you cross that $100,000 mark. Your money starts working harder than you do. I'm not talking about some get-rich-quick scheme. This is pure math and psychology working together. And once you understand why this happens, you'll see exactly what you need to do to get there faster. Most people have no idea this threshold exists. They think building wealth is just about saving more and spending less. But that's only part of the story. The real secret is understanding that wealth building works completely different before and after $100,000. And I'm going to show you exactly why. When you have $100,000 invested, you're not just a person with money anymore. You become a person whose money is making money. That's a completely different game. Before $100,000, you're in what I call the manual labor phase of wealth building. You earn $1, you save $1, you invest $1. It's all about your effort. Your paycheck is doing 99% of the heavy lifting. But after $100,000, your money starts pulling its own weight. Now you have two income streams: what you earn from work and what your money earns while you sleep. This second income stream grows every single year without you doing anything extra. Think about it this way. When you were building your first $10,000, that money was just sitting there, maybe growing by a few $100s a year. But when you have $100,000 growing at the same rate, that's $10,000 in returns annually. That's like getting a part-time job that you never have to show up for. This creates what economists call momentum. Your effort stays the same, but your results multiply. Every dollar you add now gets amplified by all the dollars you already have working for you. Here's where the numbers get really interesting. Let's say you can earn 10% returns on your investments. That's very achievable with a simple index fund over the long term. When you have $10,000 invested, that 10% gives you $1,000 in growth for the year. Not bad, but it's not changing your life. When you have $100,000 invested, that same 10% gives you $10,000 in growth. That's rent money. That's a vacation. That's real money that makes a real difference in your life. But here's what most people miss. That $10,000 in returns, it doesn't just disappear. It gets reinvested. So next year, you're not earning 10% on $100,000 anymore. You're earning 10% on $110,000. The year after that, it's $121,000. This compounding effect exists from day one, but it's so small early on that you barely notice it. The first year, compound growth adds maybe $100 to your account. But by the time you hit $100,000, compounding is adding thousands every year. Let me give you a real timeline. If you invest $10,000 per year at 7% returns, here's what happens. After your first year, you have $10,700. By year 5, you've built up $61,500. Jump ahead to year 10, and you're sitting at $148,000. Then by year 15, you've reached $271,500. Notice what happens between year 10 and 15. You're still adding the same $10,000 per year, but your account grows by over $120,000 in those 5 years. That's because your existing money is doing most of the work. So, why the first $100,000 is so hard? Getting to that first $100,000 feels impossible because you're fighting against 3 major forces. First, you're starting from zero momentum. Every dollar has to come from your paycheck. There's no investment income helping you out. You're carrying the entire load yourself. Second, you probably don't have your systems figured out yet. You're still learning what it means to live below your means. You're still making mistakes with spending. You might be paying fees you don't need to pay, or not investing as efficiently as you could. Third, the early returns are psychologically discouraging. When you save $5,000 and it grows to $5,350 after a year, that $350 feels meaningless. It doesn't motivate you to keep going. You might think, at this rate I'll never have real money, but you're not seeing the full picture. That $350 is training wheels. It's teaching your money how to work. Every dollar you invest is like planting a seed that will grow into a tree that produces fruit for decades. Once you cross $100,000, 3 things happen that make wealth building feel completely different. First, your habits are locked in. You've spent years learning how to live below your means, how to invest consistently, and how to avoid stupid financial mistakes. These habits are now automatic. You're not fighting yourself anymore. Second, your investment returns become meaningful. Instead of getting excited about $500 in annual returns, you're seeing $8,000 or $10,000. That's real money that you can feel in your daily life. This creates positive reinforcement that makes you want to save and invest even more. Third, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. When you have $100,000 invested, you understand how money works. You spot tax-saving strategies. You recognize good investment opportunities. There are exactly 3 ways to build wealth faster, and most people only focus on one of them. The first lever is offense, which means growing your income. This is the most obvious lever, but also the most underutilized. Most people think their income is fixed, but that's rarely true. The fastest way to increase your income is to get really good at something valuable. You can add income streams like drive for Uber on weekends, sell stuff online, tutor kids, do freelance work in your spare time. Even an extra $200 per month is $2,400 per year that can be invested. The second lever is defense, which means controlling your spending. Notice I said controlling, not slashing. You don't need to live like a monk to build wealth. You need to be intentional about where your money goes. The biggest spending trap is lifestyle inflation. Every time you get a raise, your spending goes up too. Instead, try to keep your spending the same when your income increases. That entire raise becomes investment money. The third lever is efficiency, which means making your money work smarter. This lever is about optimizing how your money grows. It's not just about investing, it's about investing intelligently. First, minimize fees. A 1% fee might not sound like much, but over 20 years, it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Look for low-cost index funds with expense ratios under 0.2%. Second, be tax smart. Use your 401k to reduce your taxable income. Max out a Roth IRA if you qualify. These accounts let your money grow without being dragged down by taxes every year. Third, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment accounts. When investing happens automatically, you never have a chance to spend that money instead. Let me show you exactly how this plays out with real numbers. Let's say you can invest $10,000 per year at 7% returns. During years 1 through 5, you're building the foundation. Your annual investment stays at $10,000, and by year 5, your balance reaches $61,500. Your investment returns in year 5 are about $3,800. You're still doing most of the work because your $10,000 contribution is much larger than your $3,800 in returns. From years 6 through 10, you start gaining momentum. Your annual investment is still $10,000, but by year 10, your balance hits $148,000. Your investment returns in year 10 are $9,700. Now your returns are almost as big as your contributions. Your money is pulling its weight. Years 11 through 15 are when your money takes over. You're still investing $10,000 annually, but your balance grows to $271,500 by year 15. Your investment returns that year are $17,400. Your money is now working harder than you are because your $17,400 in returns is bigger than your $10,000 contribution. By years 16 through 20, you've achieved true wealth. Your annual investment remains $10,000, but your balance reaches $439,000 by year 20. Your investment returns that year are $28,200. You're adding $10,000, but your investments are adding $28,200. You could literally stop contributing and still become wealthy from compound growth alone. This is why people say the first 100K is the hardest. After that, mathematics takes over and does the heavy lifting for you. Once you understand this pattern, your entire approach to money changes. Instead of thinking, I need to save more, you start thinking, I need to get to $100,000 as fast as possible. Here's what I want you to do right now. Calculate your current net worth. Then figure out how much you can realistically invest each month. Use an online compound interest calculator to see when you'll hit $100,000. That date isn't just a number. It's when your financial life changes forever. If this video made you see money a little differently, give it a like and subscribe to Millionaire Moves for more real, no-fluff content. And if you truly want to understand how people get rich, you can't skip this video. Trust me, it'll change the way you think.